All right, here we are with another Lightning Ventures Q&A with a really, really awesome new company. Maybe you've heard of them, maybe you haven't. If you're in our Lightning Ventures syndicate, you should have heard about them if your emails are turned on. And to learn more about that, it's ltng.ventures, and we will help you get going. Okay, so we got VIDA here. VIDA Global, okay? To at least my left is Mr. Lyle Pratt, okay? And Lyle, how are you today?
Excellent. Happy Friday.
All right, you too. Lyle is a repeat founder with successful exits. He is in Austin, Texas. If I could get any more, if I could dox you any more, he's in the heartland of it all there. And right below him, at least on my screen, is Brandon. How are you today?
I'm doing good, Mike. How about you?
I'm good. And are you in Austin as well?
No, I'm actually in Cleveland, Ohio. So
Cleveland,
in farm
Ohio.
country,
You'll be in Austin soon, I hope.
for sure. For sure.
All right. And next to you, okay, Mr. Noah Hayes. Now, this is the debut of the mustache. Okay, this is
Thanks.
the mustache debut right here. How are you doing today, and what is up with that mustache?
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's given me a lot of confidence for rocking it today. It's for a benefit this evening, so it might go away the next time you see me, but thanks.
All right, cool. And we may have a special guest join us here shortly. So, real quick, you got a bunch of C's in your titles. What do y'all do with Vida?
I'll go first. I'm Lyle. I'm the CEO, founder of VIDA. We all wear pretty much the same hats in reality. We're all plugging away at pretty much everything. So, as with most startups, titles are meaningless. I think probably the most important thing is that while we all do sort of wear multiple hats and a lot of the same hats, we're all builders and we're all operators. We've all three of us built companies from the ground up and participated in larger companies, with established teams, and we're all developers, we're all engineers. I guess the big difference is that only one of us is a designer, which is Noah. So he's responsible for making everything look good.
Thanks a lot.
So I'll go next. So Brandon Robinson, my title as it is today is COO, but as Lyle mentioned, every day is different in terms of whether I'm sitting in code or I'm doing contract negotiations with vendors for SMS and voice calls, etc. But yeah, anything that needs done in terms of getting built, in terms of making the product work and making sure that it's up and running, that is what I do.
Awesome. So my name is Noah Hayes. Background similar to Lyle's in entrepreneurship. Started a company called Radius back in 2008, which was an enterprise SaaS. Sold that company and then wound up at Google as an EIR. And then Lyle was telling me about what he was doing at Vida. Got really excited, jumped on board, and sort of powering away, trying to make it easy for everyone to use and a great experience.
All right, very cool. And in perfect timing. Wow. We were just going through some intros here, and we have Deli. What's up, man?
Yo,
How's it going, guys?
howdy.
Hey, buddy.
Looks like you're in the midst of traveling.
Yeah, just on the bus to the airport, flying Miami to Orlando. So I'll mostly be listening because we're on the bus. But yeah, excited for this and excited for Vida.
Cool. Thanks for joining.
Awesome. All right, so let's get rolling. Now we know who everyone is. Or do we know who everyone is? Deli, do you want to tell everyone real quick about yourself and your relationship to this project?
Matthew Dellavedova, play basketball in the NBA, but got a strong interest in Bitcoin. Had been messaging with Lyle for quite a while once I found out about Vida. and definitely wanted to be involved and put a personal check in a couple months ago, and then I've co-syndicated with Mike before, and he asked if I wanted to do this, have a syndicate on AngelList as well, and syndicate deals every now and then. So excited that we could team up on this and take it global. And I've already got a lot of benefit as a user so far. So look forward to continuing to spread the word.
All right. He's actually being very honest. All right. He is an orange pillar. Okay. He's orange pilling the NBA from the inside out. Okay. I got the scoop the other day. I went to my first Miami game. Thank you again for that, by the way. And, you know, Delhi has a syndicate as well. So if you're interested in investing in early stage companies in a more general way, I'm going to put the link in there to where you can get into his deals. And he has a lot of good deals that I've invested in myself, probably that predates Lightning Ventures, actually. All right, cool. So, guys, I may share screen here while you're talking, but quickly, what is VIDA from a 30,000 square foot view?
Yeah. So I guess, you know, to keep it simple, the core thesis of VIDA is that human time is undervalued online. You know, most of the websites on the internet are monetized via ads. And effectively what that means is the platform owners are leeching the value of your time by showing you advertisements and getting paid for it. So VIDA is an attempt to sort of fundamentally shift how human time and attention is monetized online by letting you, the individual, set a rate to be called or messaged or watched on a stream, as well as a bunch of other new tools that are coming out. So by shifting the power and putting it in the hands of you yourself as the user, letting you set your own rate, we fundamentally change how time and attention is monetized online.
All right. So, with just a basic overview of some of what's already been built on the platform as far as functionality, what can you do right now? And especially today, right? I don't know if that's a big public news or if you want to talk about it, but I woke up with a new feature in my VIDA dashboard today.
Yeah, so today, VIDA lets you set a rate to receive a message. You know, that rate could be 10 cents or it could be $100. The rate, VIDA lets you set a rate to receive a phone call. Same thing, that could be 10 cents per minute or $100 per minute. And then VIDA also lets you set a rate for a user to view a live stream. So you can host a paid live stream on the VIDA website just with a couple of clicks. And the feature that we rolled out just yesterday is actually scheduled calls. So you could think of this like Calendly, except for somebody to actually schedule a call with you, they have to pay your message rate to put it on your calendar. And we actually hide your email. So the person scheduling a call with you never sees your email. We send it to them through your special VIDA proxy email address. So whatever your VIDA username is, you now have a VIDA email address as well. So mine's like Lylepratt@Vida.page. So we completely keep your privacy, but let you monetize your calendar through VIDA. So super simple. And yeah, just rolled out yesterday.
All right, cool. So as far as, you know what, I don't want to talk all over this. Let me see if Delhi has a question before we get into the ones that were submitted. How's your experience been with the product so far? How are you using it?
It's great. I'm looking forward to testing out the scheduled calls. I think that's going to be very helpful for me, especially not having to share your email address. But I've got some good messages so far from some interesting people, and it just helps sort through the spam. I get a lot of spam on Twitter, LinkedIn, but I've got some high quality messages. Looking forward to going to a Sacramento Bitcoin meetup through one of the messages I've got on VIDA. So it's been cool so far.
All right. And Deli wrote something this morning and sent out a post about this to his group. And he's gained a lot of value from quality messages without sorting through the spam that usually shows up on LinkedIn. So speaking of spam, now the first spam killer, right? Everyone says spam killer. But the first thing that you integrated with Vida is the Twitter DM kind of gatekeeper. So So how does that work? And then what are other future gatekeepers that are down the line? And how does that kind of work with kind of the rails of telecom and an open API system, right? That can work from everything from a Polycom phone to whatever it is. And I don't know who's best to field that question.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon, Noah, feel free to jump in, but I guess I'll give it a whirl to start. The thing about spam is that it exists because your attention is free. The cost to get your attention and send you a message, whether that's an email message or a Twitter DM or a spammy text message, it's free. It doesn't cost the person sending it anything, and that's why spam exists. That's why companies are able to inundate you with bots and messages that you don't want. So by introducing just a small marginal cost, maybe that cost is just a few cents, or maybe you've set your rate much higher, but any cost will reduce the amount of spam, and trash messages that you get, because it's not free anymore. You can't programmatically just spew them out to anyone. You have to actually have intent to send you a message on Vida. So one of the first features we released was a Twitter spam bot. The way it works is you log into your Vida account, you click the button, and it will send an automated message to anybody that tries to DM you on Twitter that you're not following. So it basically, you can customize the message, but essentially it says, hey, if I'm not following you, I don't normally check my non-follower DM. So if you want to get my attention, then go here and get my attention. And it shows your rate and your message rate and your call rate. And it's an easy way to direct people that are trying to message you that don't have an introduction to you. They don't know anybody that knows you, so they can't get an introduction. But they're trying to send you a message, and now they have an opportunity to. And when you get a Vida message, somebody actually went through the process of paying you to send you that message. So it's very high signal message that you receive. It's not spam because somebody actually took the time to pay you to send it to you. So that's one of the bots that we have out today. But we're all about increasing the signal and decreasing the noise. So we have a lot of features coming out, like the email address that just rolled out yesterday. We're also going to give every Vida user a phone number, a real phone number that anybody can text or call. We're preventing scheduling spam from hitting your calendar in the same way. So, lots of these features are coming out. We'll even be able to paywall your actual cell phone number as well in the future. So, it's anybody in your contacts could ring through to your phone like normal, but anybody not in your contacts essentially hits the paywall that you configure on Vida. So lots of stuff coming. We're only touching the tip of the iceberg so far, but yeah. Brandon, anything to add on that?
No, I think you covered it. With the Twitter piece, being just the digital form of spam online. I've come from a communications background where I've just seen the public network just been inundated with spam. Like that's where the majority of traffic is really coming nowadays. And the integration feature that Lyle had just chatted about giving people a Vida phone number, so you no longer have to give out your personal cell phone number any longer for sites, etc., should greatly reduce your spam in general, and help you make some money and prevent those calls from taking place in the first place.
Yeah, it's also just amazing, like the amount of spam that's reduced by just having a small price, and that's really just true. It just takes a couple of cents. You don't have to set it to be like $10 a minute or $10 a message. If you're just looking to reduce spam, just having a small price makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
All right, awesome. So when we first met, it was mainly the messaging feature and the calls, right? That was there. Then the link page came in, right? The linktree killer that is probably taking off and being and probably rather popular. But can you talk about that?
Yeah. Yeah, so the link page feature is essentially just another tool that we offer in our suite of monetization services. So, imagine you're an influencer, you're a creator, you have an Instagram page, you have people trying to send you DMs on Instagram all the time. You never have time to sort through the spam and the cesspool. So instead of linking to a linktree page that has your typical links, you can link to a free VIDA page, which offers all the features of Linktree, except we add in the ability to message you right from that page or call you right from that page or even schedule a call with you right from that page. So, it's just another tool we offer. It's completely free, and it helps you monetize your audience online, whether you're a pro basketball player or a Twitch streamer or whoever. It's really simple. You can even import an existing link tree if you do have a link tree. So these viral hooks that we're looking at on the screen here, they're a really important part of our growth equation, because what this lets us do is it lets us pull the existing audiences of VIDA users onto the VIDA network. So we're looking at Breedlove here. So anybody that sees Breedlove on Twitter and clicks his link on Twitter, and they come through and pay to send him a message, well, they're now VIDA users, and they now have a VIDA page with a VIDA rate and a VIDA phone number. So we're sort of using your audience to grow our network and to prevent your spam. It's a win-win situation.
So you're telling me I can call Deli for $1 a minute?
You absolutely can. And if you click that, you can actually schedule a call, and then he can go in and change his calendar and when he's available. He'll get an email with a calendar invite right in his inbox whenever this happens. If he clicks accept in his inbox, that flows through to the other VIDA user that was trying to request it, so they know that he accepted the call. All that sort of happens out of the box, and no one ever sees Matthew's email address. It's completely private.
Cool. That's awesome. All right.
Yep, I just got an email. Meeting request.
That's dope. I can't wait to turn that up. All right, so there was a couple other cool things that were on that slide. All right, the telephone numbers. Okay, we got a bunch of this in our deal memo that is not public, but the ability to secure phone numbers and give them out. How does that work? And for context, Lyle earlier, right before this call, we've been messaging on VIDA, and he turned on my cell phone to where I was notified. Okay, so I haven't really played with it yet. That just happened like 20 minutes ago. So now instead of getting the notification on the VIDA app, there's a text message. I'm not sure how it works yet because he just turned it on.
Yeah, yeah. The intent is to make it as simple as possible to use VIDA. So if you receive a VIDA phone call in the future, you'll be able to just receive it on your cell phone. We actually send the call straight to your cell phone number if you don't have the app installed. If you receive a VIDA message and you don't have the app installed, we can send you an SMS with the message that the person was trying to send to you. You can respond to the SMS just like you would any other SMS, and it flows through to the person, whether they're using the mobile app or the website, or maybe they were using their own VIDA number as well, or maybe they even sent an email to your VIDA email address. So the goal is to sort of make it as simple as possible for anybody to use VIDA using whatever way they want to use VIDA to monetize their time and block their spam. But Brandon and I both come from telecom backgrounds over the past couple of years, over the past few years, and normally a phone number, like if you bought it from Twilio or something like that, would cost you $1, to buy a phone number. It costs us way cheaper. We're talking single digit cents to reserve a number. So, we were able to secure that deal. Actually, Brandon was able to secure that deal as a part of our previous relationships in that industry, and that's why we have the economies of scale to be able to give them out to Vida users. So we're really excited about that. It's just really cool. Like, imagine you're streaming on Twitch, and you're using our Twitch integration that lets Vida messages show up on your live Twitch streams, and you tell your audience, hey, you want to send me a message that'll show up on the stream, just text me at this number. It's really simple. Anybody can do it. The first time you text a Vida number, you get back an address that says, hey, you get back a message that says, hey, texting this number costs 10 cents or whatever it is. Click this link to add funds. Click the link, you can top up your account. You send the text again, and then poof, it just goes through. So, we think that there is there's just tons of opportunities to monetize communication online for lots of different use cases, whether you're a Twitch streamer, whether you're a professional athlete, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're just, a big Bitcoiner on Twitter. It doesn't matter. The facts are that people value your attention and your time, and Vida is offering tools across a wide spectrum to monetize, your own time and attention.
So let's talk about the traction. From launch to now, how has it been? How's the growth been? And how many downloads are you getting? Is it mainly mobile or versus desktop? I mean, I use both, but
it's spread out across desktop and mobile, pretty evenly. The cool thing about Vida is that every one of our features has a viral component to it. So every one of our features is designed to pull in another user. So, our goal is that when you sign up for Vida and make an account, you bring at least one other person to Vida. And, the way we do that is we cast a lot of nets across your existing audience. Maybe you're using our link page. Maybe you're posting your Vida phone number on your Twitter account. Maybe you're hosting live streams, paid live streams on the Vida platform. Maybe you're using our streaming integrations to do paid live messages on your Twitch streams. So all of these features are designed to pull in users as you use our product. So as you can imagine, it's sort of a built-in viral coefficient to every feature of our product that, as more people sign up for Vida, our growth accelerates. And we're beginning to see that, in our growth numbers. I think our last quarterly update, the number we listed was 20% month over month. And, that's our whole ball game. So, we're going to focus on which features are pulling in the most amount of users. Right now, that seems to be paid live streams. So this release that we just rolled out yesterday is all about sort of expanding on that live stream functionality, expanding on our calling functionality so that you can now host, instead of just one-to-one calls, you can do, multi-person meetings. You can pull in people from the stage. So say you're just hosting a 3-person meeting and you click a button and you can start broadcasting it on your Vida.page. And anybody that's viewing it, you can pull onto the stage and have them participate in the meeting as well. So, this is all designed to cast a wider net across users' audience so that we can accelerate our growth. And we're just getting started.
Well, what you just said sounds like something very close to a monetized Twitter Spaces. It
is very similar to that. With video, I would add, not just audio. But while you can't quite do this, what we're eventually working toward is like the simplicity of being able to post a link on Twitter and even say, hey, click this link and I will pay you. When you join, I will promote you to the host of this meeting and I will pay you to talk to you. So there's a lot of flexibility in how these tools can monetize anyone's time, whether that's yours or anyone else's. And, we're really excited about them.
Okay, so before let's just do a quick lightning round of questions, okay? Because there's a few. Why would anyone need a new number at all?
Well, if you want to be able to publicly give out your phone number without the risk of spam, then you need a new number. There's another way we can do that. We can actually configure your cell phone number to forward to a VIDA number, which is a feature we plan on rolling out eventually. But for most users, we think that it'll be easier that if they want to give out a public phone number, then they can just give out their free VIDA one. That's why you don't see most people posting, their personal cell phone number online, because the moment you do, it's going to get crawled, and you're going to regret it for the rest of your existence. So that's why you need a new phone number, if you're going to give it out.
Wow, that would be really cool, though. So that means every political text and ridiculous nonsense text that you get, those are just gone.
They're just gone unless they want to pay to, encourage you to go to the polls.
What about the friend that you met that's not in your phone yet that you gave your number to? Does that then direct them to a page, or would you have to add them to your phone first in order to avoid that?
Yeah, if they're not already in your whitelist, or in your contacts, and they're going to hit your, they're going to hit your paywall message like anybody else. So if you know them, you can add them to your contacts and they can flow through, or, they can use any other form of paid DMs. Like if you already know them, it's likely that you already have their contact information in some way. And I think that's a sort of a common question. It's like, we're not trying to compete with every form of non-paid communication out there. That's what all communication is today. There's thousands of different ways to have non-paid communication, but there's no modern ways to do paid communication. So, our view is that the market for paid communication and high signal communication is massive. And, our whole ball game is to provide a suite of tools to make that easier, no matter what use case you have for monetizing your own time.
Okay. So, is it annoying to always have to pay friends? As of right now, you can't turn this off, right? I guess you can set it at the default of 0, but Lyle, you and I I've communicated more with you, of course, on VIDA than anyone else, okay? And it's great because I've been making 21 cents every time that you send me a message. I appreciate that. I'm up to $18 in my account. Thanks. And yours, being a founder, is 0, so it is free to message you, and I appreciate that. But basically the question surrounds, will there be a way? What then does somebody do, right? Because you've made that connection, and then are you expecting them to move it into a text message or WhatsApp or something? They're going to leave your platform, right? Unless people are just paying 30 cents. And I will say one thing, because I sent you like 4 messages in a row once. Okay. And I thought to myself, well, shit, if I really was paying 60 cents for this, I would have put 60 cents worth of thought, you know what I mean? And put it all into one nice, well-formed message, because it costs something. So what are people going to do as far as constant communication, or how do you address that?
Yeah. And Noah, Brandon, jump in, if you guys have thoughts here. But, my thought is that right now we're focusing on paid communication. We're focusing on non-introduction communication. So, communication, connecting to people that don't have an introduction to one another. They don't know each other. And so there's nothing preventing them today, after you establish this communication channel and you decide that you actually want to, share your non-paid communication method, whether that's a Signal, or Telegram or your phone number or whatever, there's nothing preventing you from giving that to that person. But with that said, we are exploring quite a few ways to sort of customize the rates that people are paying, whether that is, whether they're watching a stream live, or whether they're in mid conversation with you, or whether they're in a meeting with you right now. So we are thinking through a lot of different ways for the person who is essentially hosting the conversation to be able to change the rate for a particular person or a particular event, because that has been it has been brought up quite a few times. But I guess to be clear, we're not trying to compete with non-paid communication. We're trying to be the standard for paid communication.
All right. So next up is, are all of these people actually, have these people claimed VIDA profiles? This was a question of, does Jack Dorsey have a profile? I mean, we know Deli does. That's for sure.
Yeah. So all of these people signed up for VIDA. Many of them signed up back in, I guess it was probably April, whenever I released the initial alpha release of the product, which was like 3 weeks old or so at the time. But yeah, every one of them signed up, and I actually talked with Jack. He responded to my message on the platform. Jimmy up there at the top, if you click on Jimmy, he's got a configured page. Same thing with Jack Mahler's. Jack Mahler's actually has his Strike account connected to his VIDA account. Breedlove has his page customized. So yeah, I mean, the answer is all of these people signed up. One thing we are working through right now is publishing information on like your response rate, so that you can see the response rate of somebody that you're about to pay to contact, just so there's more transparency on sort of, the nature of what you're actually spending money on, when you spend it, if that makes sense.
For sure. Okay, very cool. So the Strike integration was the first one. Are there more that are planned? Is there anything that you can talk about with that? And I mean, how does it normally work? I mean, I'm seeing a dollar balance. Okay, this is a Lightning. This is leveraging Lightning in every possible way. But on my screen here, I'm looking at a dollar balance. So how exactly does that shake out?
Yeah. So if you actually click your profile in the top right there, and then click your wallet right there, your wallet balance at the top. Yep, just click that. So your balance is by default Bitcoin. Now we do also offer a way to top up your account with dollars with a credit card. And if somebody does that and they send you a message, then you actually get a dollar balance, which is held for a period of time until the funds settle. And once the funds settle, it gets deposited into your account as Bitcoin. So the cool thing about VIDA is that you can connect your account to almost any Lightning service. So we offer integrations with Strike. We offer integrations with LNURL. So if you have a Lightning address, you can connect it to VIDA. If you have an LN Bits instance running on your own node or somebody else's, you can connect your VIDA account to it. And basically what that means is any payments you receive, we automatically, the person is actually paying you directly for that payment. So if you have Strike connected, whenever somebody's trying to pay you, we fetch an invoice from Strike and they pay the invoice, and that goes straight into your Strike account. If you have a Lightning address on your account, somebody pays you a message, we send that money. Actually, the person that is paying you sends that money straight to your Lightning address. Another integration that's coming out soon is for OpenNode. This is actually working behind the scenes for us. We just haven't exposed it yet, but you'll be able to connect any OpenNode account to your VIDA account, so that any funds that people pay, whether that's watching a live stream or sending you a message or on a call with you or a meeting, they're deposited straight into your OpenNode account. And if you have your OpenNode account configured to automatically exchange Bitcoin that you receive into dollars, then you're automatically earning dollars. So this is the flexibility of the VIDA network, is that connections like this can happen. We don't have to custody your funds, which is really important. We do everything we can to encourage you to not use our product custodially by offering all of these integrations. LN Bits is actually really cool because it's not just one directional. So in other words, it's not just for receiving, but you can actually spend or send directly from your LNbits account. So any messages you send to other people can come straight from your own node.
So then why would anyone in the world still be using a linktree?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Anybody watching this right now, if you are using a linktree, should really fix that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. So cool. Okay, so we have streaming overlays. Okay, we have the calendar, which is just new. This just showed up today. I'm excited to play around with that. And if you're using a Linktree, you got to get off of this thing. One question though, what is this pending balance here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so pending balance is any funds, again, like if somebody lands on your page from your link page, as an example, they landed on your Instagram page, they say, oh man, I really want to send Ellie a message. They click the link, and then they top up with a credit card. We let them do that because we don't want to turn away users from paying contact with you. So let's say you add $5 with a credit card and they send you a message. Well, when they add funds with a credit card, we're not giving them Bitcoin, we're giving them Vida credit. And the way that works is when they send you that message, we hold those funds for 30 days. And once those 30 days clear, then we deposit the amount into your Bitcoin wallet automatically. Every user has the option to turn off receiving Vida credit too. So like if you don't want to receive funds that have a hold on them, you can go into settings and just completely turn them off. So you totally have that. You're totally in control of whether you receive those or not. So the rewards page is pretty cool. You should go ahead and click that button.
Yeah, the rewards by default. A lot of times with these affiliate programs, you have to sign up or you have to be approved, and it's kind of a pain in the rear end there. But you've taken a totally different approach with this.
Yeah, it's really cool. So basically, if you are the first person somebody contacts on Vida, you are automatically earning a portion of whatever they spend or earn on the network. So if you're using our link page and somebody clicks your profile and sends you a message and you're the first person they've ever contacted on Vida, from that point forward, they're associated with your account as a referral, and you earn a portion of whatever they spend or earn in the network. So it's all automatic. We do actually give you like a ref link if you want to use that somewhere. Like if you want to put a cookie on somebody's computer and get credit for it or something like that. But all you really have to do is share your Vida.page and you're earning referral rewards totally automatically. So imagine you're a Twitch streamer and you're using our overlay, and somebody sends you a message on your live Twitch stream, and you tell your other Twitch streamer friend about these tools, and the same viewer sends them a message. You're earning from that user's activity on the Vida network automatically. So yeah, you can customize how it looks. You can change the styling. You can add some banned word filters, like if you don't want people saying certain things or whatever on your live Twitch stream. We automatically look for and block personally identifiable information and profanity, but maybe if you have custom words, you can add them there. It's a really cool feature. It works with all the streaming software, whether that's OBS or Streamlabs. And it all happens automatic.
Really cool. So you've done a lot in a short amount of time. It's incredible. Okay. What else? We have a question here. Hold on. What specifically is traversing Lightning, or is it simply being used as a messaging / notification protocol? In other words, are you passing anything back and forth besides the sats and the value?
No, the answer is no. There is a small exception with LNURL, but we're just using Lightning to settle the communication in real time. And this is really important for later, because we do plan on releasing a standard for SIP 402 payment required and things like that. And, instant settlement without having to trust an intermediary is what lets us do that. It's also what lets us offer API products, so that anybody can host a stream somewhere else and monetize it using our APIs. We don't want people to have to depend on us for payments. We want them to depend on us for the services that we're actually offering.
Okay, moving on. A lot of these are product questions, but why not? Okay, so what about supporting donations on a person's page? Custom type of buttons. Okay, I'm going to try and get a bunch of them into one. Blocks of time. Okay, blocks of time instead of, paying advance, for that stuff. I know I just threw a bunch at you, but how about donations and custom?
I'm gonna let Brandon and Noah answer.
A lot of that stuff is there. So in fact, you can give donations as gifts. If you're thinking of donating or gifting to the person, that's one thing. If you're referring to like donating the money that you earn, that is a feature that we're working on actually, in which you can connect to a donation.
Yeah, to add to that, like let's say you wanted to automatically donate anything you earn to a charity that already has a Lightning address or Strike account. Doing that would just be a matter of putting the Lightning address in your account or putting the Strike address in your account, and anything you earn is automatically going to go to them. But we are going to productize that and make it really obvious, and maybe have some buttons where you could turn on to charities that we've already sort of vetted.
Pre-selected ones.
Can the VIDA email address somehow work with your regular email address?
Yeah, I could take that one.
Go ahead.
So essentially, it's really the same. So you give someone, Mike at Vida.page. They email that to they email something, and that something comes directly to your personal email. So what you end up seeing is that it's the Vida user messaging you, Mike, on your personal, and when you message them back on their Vida address, we then proxy that back over to their personal. So essentially, we allow bidirectional communication on your email, on your phone number for SMS or calling, etc., while all guaranteeing that it's coming through the Vida paywall.
You got a lot of fancy words about the SIP routing engine. The SIP routing engine. Okay, I'm going to take that class over the weekend. Okay, so competition, differentiation, moats, all those stupid words. It's interesting because what is like a really good comp? Okay, what would like really the leader in this space be? Because what you're doing, it's kind of social, it's definitely communications, but it's also an element of cybersecurity, because the amount of the chances you have to not answer a fake call from the IRS is probably better off for you. So what do you think as far as like a major competitor that you, and I'm not really talking about Brave browser, and not something like that, but like, what is there?
You're right. There's not really, many direct competitors here. Some people have compared us to expert networks, like Intro as an example. Some people have compared us to, things like Brave browser, like you say. Some people have compared us to, when they hear about our phone numbers, to spam blocker apps like Robocaller. But we're very different than those things because, we're much more broadly accessible to anybody, no matter what or who your audience, is, what you do or who your audience is. Intro, as an example, is focused on sort of, experts in the entrepreneurial, or business space. And there's actually an application process to get an intro profile. So you're not going to find like a Twitch streamer, on there. But it is, if you break it down, it is sort of a paid meeting, right? Another example would be something like Cameo, where they offer paid messages to celebrities. So there are some sort of adjacent people operating in the paid communications market. But we think the paid communications market is just getting started. Like, we are at the very beginning of this. And the reason why it's going to keep growing is because it's the only solution for spam. Spam exists because it's free. The only way to stop spam on a massive macro scale is by introducing cost.
Okay, so I got some interesting confidential feedback from someone here who actually passed on the deal. They didn't submit a question, but just some feedback that I think is actually incorrect. And it was too small of a market because if you're not an influencer, this wouldn't work. So you had some supplemental information for us as far as other use cases. Other consumer users that I was actually really taken aback by. I mean, you're talking about athletes, you're talking about translators. You have a great use case here for like a plumber, and so many other things. So, I mean, can you talk about some of the other use cases?
Yeah, I mean, fundamentally, everyone's time is valuable. Everyone's time is valuable. A plumber's time is valuable, a lawyer's time is valuable, a doctor's time is valuable, an athlete's time is valuable, an expert's time is valuable. Everyone's time is valuable. Everyone needs new tools to monetize the value of their own time. Those tools don't exactly look the same for everyone in every context, but that's why we're building a suite of tools that fit whoever you are and wherever you are. So the other thing is that everybody has spam. Every single person has spam. Everybody deals with this problem. And paid communication, a paywall, is the only solution that will work for everyone in every context because it's the only thing that increases the cost. It changes it from 0 to 1.
So, and just to remind everyone, that's a 20% cut of that transaction volume. There's a discount if you run your own node. That's nice that that's incentivized. Okay, so how many full-time people, contractors, part-time, dogs, cats, how many are currently on the VIDA Global team right now?
Us three that you see here full-time, and we've got one contractor who's a guy that Brandon and I have known for years and years. He's also a developer, so it's just us so far.
Okay, and how do y'all know each other?
So I worked with Brandon for the past 5 years or so at the previous company I worked for, which was the company that acquired my previous startup. And I've known Noah since college. We were actually college roommates and did a startup at a college, which we both sold. And subsequently, he moved to the Bay Area and has been doing startups ever since then. Brandon, Noah, you guys, add anything you'd like.
Yeah, so I started in communications probably about, I don't know, a long time ago, probably too long ago, and so I joined a really small team here in Cleveland, Ohio, of 3 people. So I was the fourth person. In about 5 years, we actually took the company nationwide and eventually split it and sold it for about $60 million. And part of the company, I was mandated to go with that side, which was IntelliQuint. So IntelliQuint bought the one part of that business, and that's ended up how I ended up meeting Lyle. We worked together ever since.
Well, I'm with you, Mike, on all the SIP talk. I've learned so much since working with Lyle and Brandon on this. Yeah, my background I had mentioned before is in entrepreneurship. Started a couple of companies now. This is the third one. And one of the exciting things about this is that it spans both consumer and potentially at some point enterprise with our API product that we'll one day release. So.
All right, cool. I think that's all I have. I don't know if there's anything else. If you just want to take maybe 10 seconds on something that you're excited about, a product, anything that you can talk about publicly, and that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, well, we're particularly excited about the features that were rolled out yesterday. We're particularly excited about the expansion of sort of paid meetings features that are coming over the course of the next couple of weeks. I mean, essentially what it is it's a link you can share with anyone. And, anybody that joins can either be paying or get paid. If you think about that, I mean, think about selling software and doing software demos for, pick any kind of software. hey, join this call with me and let me show you my software. I'll pay you, I don't know, $50 an hour, whatever you choose, right? You're in a meeting. The person on the other side is getting paid every second. It's totally upfront. They get to withdraw their money to Cash App immediately after. Simple things like that have high viral coefficients, and they work for anyone. Anyone selling anything, building any kind of business. It's just an extension of things that they already do online, but adding monetization.
Brandon, what are you excited about? What's coming up next?
Well, let me see here. So obviously we're going to start releasing the free phone numbers for everybody that wants one. So you go in, you pick the phone number that you want. But you know what excites me the most, Mike, is, I've been in the communication space for quite some time, and I've kind of just seen how people's time in general was never valued. And this is from all the big carriers. And I think now is, my chance with Vida to give that back to the user. Let them value their time. Let them, give an opportunity and a platform for them to remove the unwanted stuff that the public networks have given them for so long.
That is awesome. Noah, closing thoughts.
Well, I'm really excited about having meetings like this, but paying the host. So
I should be paying you.
we should be paying you, and we plan on doing that very, very, very soon. And it's going to be so cool. You're just going to press one button, similar to how you mentioned, you sort of start a space on Twitter, send a link out, and people are earning money immediately. It's amazing when you see it in action.
Oh my gosh. And Deli is still here. Were you here the whole time, man? You weren't on my screen here. What do you want to say about these guys here?
No, just really excited to be involved and well, yeah, just listening in. I had a few more ideas for people to introduce you guys to, so excited about the future.
All right, cool. And actually my biggest request for your feature is for LinkedIn, because my gosh, if you could get $100 an hour for every one of like the spam that's on LinkedIn, my gosh, you can't even look at that mailbox. It's like from another planet.
We're exploring and working on that. Pretty much, if there's a social platform and they've got an API for messaging, we're looking at it.
I'm not important enough to get Twitter spam. I get like 2 messages, but it's working. Or maybe that's why it's working, because all right. All right, cool, guys. Well, listen, thanks for hanging out. This was a lot of fun. And to learn more, sign up for Vida. Use Deli's link. But it's Vida.page. And we'll have all the links to everyone down below and all that good stuff. And if you like investing in Bitcoin companies, you should check us out, ltng.ventures, and go Kings.
Go Kings.
Bye, guys.
Go Kings.